Hello, my name is AJ Fox. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the Director of Religious Education here at First UU. Today we're talking about banned books during the service. And I wanted to share with you a few of my absolute favorite banned books and a couple that I feel like are pretty bannable right now that are worth checking out. So first, we'll share the books that have been banned before. Some of them make sense why they're banned, some of them meh. First one, this is our copy, so it doesn't have a pretty cover anymore. But this is Shel Silverstein, and Shel Silverstein wrote Where the Sidewalk Ends, which is a collection of poetry for kids. And it depends on where it got banned, but the list of reasons that this book has been banned is very long. And one theme that came up over and over again in the banning of Where the Sidewalk Ends is that it encouraged questioning and disobedience to parents. So, encourages disobedience to parents, big problem. The second book that we have read here in UU Spaces several times over is a book called And Tango Makes Three. And Tango Makes Three is a story that's based on a true story of two penguins who are male, who are pair bonded, and a zookeeper who moves the egg from a nest that was unable to care for the egg and gave it to the two male penguins who had pair bonded. And they hatched and raised a third penguin named Tango. And that's Tango right there. We've read this before on Father's Day and in some other settings. It is a great little book, and it was banned because they didn't like that Tango got two daddies. And the third book, which I think shows exactly why banning children's books can be super irresponsible, is this book called Brown Bear, What Do You See? Now, if you've ever read this book, you might be thinking, why would they ban that book? It makes no sense. Brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? That one has red birds, has ducks. What's to ban? This book was written by Bill Martin Jr. and illustrated by Eric Carle of Hungry Caterpillar fame. Bill Martin Jr. shared a name with an author that wrote communist theory work for adults. And a school board got confused about which Bill Martin Jr. they were dealing with and thought, well, if he's writing communist theory work, then his children's books must also be communist. And they banned this book from the children's library. All right, now let's talk about two books that are probably on somebody's ban list currently. These are both books that came out relatively recently. This one's getting old. This one's 2012. Okay, so this is like 9 years old. I'm sure it's been banned somewhere by now. It is called What Makes a Baby? It's by Corey Silverberg, illustrated by Fiona Smith. And it is the absolute best children's book about sex, sexual reproduction that I have seen or come across. It removes assumptions about who is having the baby in terms of gender, in terms of family relationship, in terms of everything. It talks about sperm, it talks about eggs, it talks about uteruses, and it talks about all the people that love the baby, but it does not assume or unassume, it does not link those things, which means that for any child, this book applies, right? Every child came from sperm, eggs, uterus, and can think about adults who love them. But that doesn't always mean it's the same people, and it doesn't always mean, anyway, it's so good. It's so good, and it's got little cartoon uteruses and cartoon sperm, and it's super good. And if you know somebody who's having a baby who has a big brother or big sister in their world, or a kid who's thinking about reproduction and asking kind of confusing questions that you don't know answers to, or you know answers to, but you don't know where to go with it, this is the book. It's also like super bannable. If they put this in an elementary school library, like a PTA would freak. All right. The last one is new. This one is this year. It is May 2021, and it is called Bodies Are Cool by Tyler Fader, probably. Bodies Are Cool is such a good book. It's such a good book. This is one of those books that I suspect I buy like 7 copies of over the next year for every kid I know who's having a birthday. It's really good. And it is about representation, right? It is about representing loving yourself and loving your skin and loving who you are, regardless of who, like how you look, but like loving yourself, right? Just full stop, period. It has all these great illustrations, and it has lines like big bodies, small bodies, dancing, playing, happy bodies. Look at all these different bodies. Bodies are cool. But it shows kids with scars. It shows people with big fat bodies and small skinny bodies and all kinds of differently abled bodies, all doing things with their bodies, enjoying life. It has led to conversations with my kids and with other kids that I've read it with that are great conversations. It has trans masculine bodies represented and the scars that are associated with trans masculine bodies. It has breastfeeding is represented, skin tone of all different varieties. It is so good. It is so good. It is like this little anthem of representation and opening up those conversations. So, Bodies Are Cool is surely going to be banned, right? I just can't imagine that they won't try to ban this book for some reason. There's no nudity except there's like some like 1 or 2 year olds wandering around a picnic naked, I think. But there's just like enough bodies, and like it's just good enough that somebody's gonna try to ban it. It's gonna be, get it on your Christmas shopping list now. It's a bannable book. And with that, I will see you all later, and come talk banned books with me anytime. I have lots of thoughts. Bye.